My wife Lisa accused me of violence in the divorce case and prevented me from seeing my 8-year-old son Jake. The court believed her, and I had been separated from my child for 6 months. I only had supervised visitation rights once a week. My son was now afraid of me and refused to talk. But during the last visit, I noticed the bruises on Jake's arm. My name is Thomas Anderson. I'm 35 years old and work as a project manager at a construction company in Los Angeles. Or I used to work, until my life was turned upside down. I met Lisa 10 years ago and married her 8 years ago. When we brought Jake into the world, I thought we were a perfect family. It took 8 years to learn how wrong I was. Meeting Lisa was a coincidence. In 2014, we met at a cafe in Santa Monica where she was working. At that time, she was studying psychology at UCLA, a very smart and beautiful girl. I was also a recent engineering graduate from USC, a young man who had just found a new job. It would be an exaggeration to say love at first sight, but we were both very impressed with each other. When we started dating, Lisa was very different. She was loving, understanding, supportive. When I had work stress, she would calm me down, listen to my problems, and offer solutions. My friends would say, "You're very lucky, Thomas. Lisa is a perfect girl." They were right for that time. We got married in 2016. We had a small but beautiful wedding in Santa Barbara. Both of our families attended. Everyone was very happy. We spent our honeymoon in Hawaii. When I remember those days, I still feel strange. We were so happy. The first years of our marriage were beautiful. We rented a small but charming house near Beverly Hills. I had a rising career at Cooper Industries Construction Company, and Lisa started working as a psychologist at a clinic in West LA. Everything was going according to plan. Jake was born in 2017. That was the happiest moment of my life. He was a healthy baby weighing 3.2 kilos. When he started crying the moment he was born, Lisa and I both cried. "He's going to be a strong child like his father," Lisa had said. At that time, these words sounded very beautiful. Jake's first years were challenging but beautiful. Night wakings, diaper changes, constant crying. But also his first smile, first steps, first words. When he said "Dada," I almost had a heart attack from happiness. But Lisa slowly began to change. At first, I attributed it to maternal stress. Having a newborn baby wasn't easy. But as time passed, Lisa's behavior became even stranger. When Jake turned 2, Lisa's anger problems began. She would shout about small things and start meaningless arguments. "Thomas, you never help. I'm working like a slave here," she would say constantly. Yet I was trying to help as much as I could. When Jake turned 3, things got even worse. Lisa no longer wanted to go to work. "I'll stay home to take care of Jake," she had said. It seemed logical at first, but then I realized Lisa just wanted to stay home. During those periods, I began to notice changes in Jake's behavior too. He was normally a cheerful child, but sometimes he would become very quiet and withdraw to corners. When I asked Lisa, she would say, "It's childhood, it's normal." When Jake turned 4, serious problems began between Lisa and me. We constantly argued about money matters. Lisa would say, "You're always blaming me for not having money," but actually I never said such a thing. I was just saying we needed to be careful with the budget. One day when I picked Jake up from daycare, his teacher Sarah Martinez wanted to talk to me. "Mr. Anderson, I have some concerns about Jake." "What kind of concerns?" "He's been very quiet lately. He doesn't play with other children and constantly looks sad." "He behaves normally at home," I had said, but actually this wasn't true. Jake was starting to become quiet at home too. When Jake turned 5, Lisa's mood had completely changed. She was now constantly angry, aggressive, and restless. She would have big outbursts over small things. "Jake, you ruin everything. I have no peace because of you." Jake started crying in fear. I tried to intervene. "Lisa, calm down. He's only 5 years old. Don't interfere, Thomas. I'm tired of taking care of this child." Such scenes became frequent. Lisa's impatience with Jake was increasing. When Jake turned 6, he started school. We had enrolled him in first grade at Lincoln Elementary School. I was very excited for his first day, but Jake looked very tense. In the middle of the school year, his teacher Ms. Jennifer Taylor wanted to meet with me. "Mr. Anderson, Jake's behavior at school is concerning." "What kind of behavior?" "He's very withdrawn. He can't make friends with other children. Also, he often says he has nightmares." "I haven't noticed anything at home." Maybe you could consider family therapy? When I told Lisa about this suggestion, she got very angry. Jake has no problems. That teacher is exaggerating. But I began to observe Jake more carefully. He really was quieter, more withdrawn. Sometimes he couldn't even talk comfortably with me. When Jake turned 7, the problems between Lisa and me became unsolvable. We constantly argued, shouting even in front of Jake. I knew this situation was harming our child, but Lisa wouldn't listen. One day when I came home from work, Jake was crying. There was a red mark on his arm. Jake, what's this? I fell, Dad. Where did you fall? Jake didn't answer. Lisa quickly intervened. He fell at the park. He's a child, he doesn't pay attention. But that mark didn't look like a fall mark. It looked more like a grip mark. That evening I talked to Lisa. Lisa, you need to be more patient with Jake. Now you're blaming me. I'm not blaming you, but the child looks very stressed. The child is perfect. You're becoming paranoid. But I wasn't paranoid. There really were changes in Jake. Jake's 8th birthday went very badly. We had organized a birthday party, but Lisa was very tense that day. When Jake cut the cake and slightly injured his hand, Lisa went crazy. Jake, you're really clumsy. You can't do anything right. The invited children and families were shocked. Jake was so embarrassed that he ran crying to his room. That night Lisa and I had a big argument. Lisa, you can't treat Jake like this. Don't try to teach me how to behave. He's our son. We need to protect him. I gave birth to him. You work more and spend less time at home. This argument lasted for hours. Jake heard everything from his room. In the following months, Lisa's behavior got even worse. The way she talked to Jake, the way she scolded him was now alarming. But every time I tried to intervene, Lisa got angrier and blamed me. At the beginning of 2024, I couldn't stand it anymore. Jake's psychological condition was very bad. The school principal, Ms. Patricia Wilson, called me requesting a meeting. Mr. Anderson, Jake's behavior at school is very concerning. He constantly looks anxious and scared. We've noticed it at home too. What do you suggest? I recommend meeting with child psychologist Dr. Amanda Foster. I made an appointment with Dr. Foster, but Lisa refused to participate. Jake has no problems. You're all exaggerating. After Dr. Foster had several sessions with Jake, she talked to me. Mr. Anderson, Jake is showing serious trauma symptoms. What kind of trauma? Children this age are usually affected by family problems. Is there violence at home? No physical violence, but Lisa is very harsh. Jake constantly lives in fear of being punished. This isn't normal. After this conversation, I decided to have a serious talk with Lisa. We needed to discuss marriage therapy or divorce. When I talked to her that evening, Lisa's reaction was not what I expected. Thomas, you want to leave me? Because you want to be with someone younger. Lisa, what are you saying? I just want what's best for Jake. Lies. You always use Jake as an excuse. This argument became very ugly. Lisa started shouting and making accusations. You're never home, you never help. I work like a slave here. Lisa, I have to work. I need to support the family. You're going to leave us. You'll try to take Jake too. That night Lisa said very strange things to me. It was as if she had lost her mind. In March 2024, I finally couldn't stand it anymore and decided to divorce. When I told Lisa, her reaction was terrible. You can't take Jake from me. He's my son. Lisa, Jake is both of our son. There will be joint custody. No. You won't be able to get near Jake. Lisa, you're being ridiculous. I'm Jake's father. You use violence. Jake is afraid of you. This statement shocked me. Lisa, what are you saying? I never laid a hand on Jake. Lies. I'll record everything. From that moment on, Lisa completely changed. She was now trying to record my every move, focusing on making me look bad. When I met with my divorce lawyer Patricia Williams, the situation was clear. Thomas, in these types of cases, women's claims are taken seriously. If Lisa claims violence, you could be in trouble. I learned how right she was a few weeks later. When I read the court documents, I was shocked. Lisa Anderson claims that her husband Thomas Anderson has applied physical and psychological violence towards her and their children. Jake Anderson is afraid of his father and needs to be taken into protection for his safety. Thomas Anderson's approach to the child should be prevented. He should only be given supervised visitation rights. I had an emergency meeting with my lawyer Patricia. Thomas, Lisa has made very serious accusations. She claims there are bruises on Jake and that you show aggression.
Patricia, this is completely false.
I never harmed Jake. The first court hearing was held in May 2024. Lisa testified tearfully. Thomas constantly shouts at us, throws things. Jake is very scared. Last week he grabbed Jake's arm very hard and it bruised.
I was in shock.
None of it was true. Robertson seemed to believe Lisa more. I could only see Jake on weekends at the Riverside County Child Protection Services office. A social service specialist, Jennifer Ross, was constantly with us. The first supervised visit was very painful. Jake became very tense when he saw me. "Hello Jake, how are you?" Jake didn't answer. He just looked at the social service specialist.
Jake, I'm Daddy.
"You can talk to me." "Daddy, Mommy told me you won't live here anymore." "Yes Jake, but I still love you very much. We'll meet every week." Jake started crying. "Mommy told me I should be afraid of you." These words broke the last piece in my heart. The following weeks were even harder. Jake was hesitant to talk to me, constantly looking fearful. Even social service specialist Jennifer found the situation strange. "Mr. Anderson, Jake looks very stressed. But not with you, but in general."
What do you mean?
Normally, children who are victims of violence are very tense with the aggressive parent. But Jake seems to relax over time when he's with you. This observation was hopeful, but not enough. "Thomas is still harassing me. He calls and threatens me. Jake can't sleep at night anymore." None of it was true. I only called Lisa to see Jake. Judge Chun again decided in Lisa's favor. Supervised visits will continue. Mr. Anderson's unsupervised access to the child is not appropriate at this time. Where did these bruises come from? "I fell, Daddy." "Where did you fall?" Jake didn't answer, but his eyes filled with fear. I asked social service specialist Jennifer, "Did you notice these bruises?" "Yes, it's concerning. But Jake constantly says he fell. Maybe there's a problem at home? I need to investigate this." During the August visit, Jake's condition was even worse. He had a small wound on his lip and slight swelling under his eye. "Jake, can you tell me where these wounds came from?" Jake was very scared. He started crying. "Daddy, I don't want to go home." "Why, Jake?" Mommy is very angry." "Is she angry at you?" Jake nodded but didn't say more. This time Jennifer was listening very carefully. "Jake, who gets angry at you at home?" "Mommy, when I'm naughty." "What does Mommy do when she's angry?" Jake was very scared. "I can't say. Mommy forbade me to tell." After this conversation, Jennifer had a private meeting with me. "Mr. Anderson, Jake's condition is very concerning. The explanation for these bruises and wounds doesn't make sense. I noticed too. What can we do?" "I need to report to Child Protection Services. Jake's situation at home needs to be investigated." In September, Child Protection Services began investigating Jake's situation at home. Social worker Monica Davis met with Lisa. Lisa's explanation was as follows. "Jake is a very active child. He constantly falls and gets injured. I'm trying to take care of him alone, it's very difficult." Monica also met with me. "Mr. Anderson, Lisa's explanations seem reasonable. Jake might be an active child. But those bruises and wounds don't look normal. Children can get injured a lot. We can't act without definitive evidence." This system was working very slowly. I knew Jake was in danger, but no one was listening. During the October visit, Jake's psychological condition was even worse. He no longer made any eye contact with me. "Jake, do you want to talk to me?" "Daddy, I can only talk as much as Mommy allows me."
What do you mean?
"Mommy told me not to tell you too many things, just to say it's going well." This sentence explained everything. Lisa was manipulating Jake. Jennifer was now very suspicious of the situation. "Mr. Anderson, This child has serious signs of psychological pressure. We're sure there's a problem in the home environment. So what can we do? We need to do more detailed research. In November, a big development occurred. When I went to pick Jake up from school early for supervised visit, his teacher Miss Taylor wanted to talk to me. Mr. Anderson, Jake said very strange things today. What kind of things? He said, Mommy teaches me not to love Daddy. Also, when I talk loudly at home, Mommy gets angry. This information was very important. What else did he say? He said, Mommy taught me to lie to Daddy. This is very concerning. That evening I immediately called my lawyer Patricia. Patricia, Jake's teacher, gave very important information. There's evidence that Lisa is manipulating Jake. Thomas, this is very important. But we need more concrete evidence. How will we find it? We could consider hiring a private detective. I hired an experienced private detective named Robert Collins. His goal was to investigate how Lisa treated Jake. In December, Robert came with the first findings. Thomas, the neighbors are saying very interesting things. What kind of things? There are constantly children crying sounds from the house. They often hear Lisa shouting. Is this enough evidence? Not yet, but it's a start. Robert deepened his investigation. He talked to Jake's daycare teachers, neighbors, even workers at the market. In January 2025, Robert came with bombshell information. Thomas, I talked to Jake's former daycare teacher Sarah Martinez. She said very important things. What did she say? When Jake was 4 years old, he constantly said, Mommy is angry at me, Mommy punishes me. Sarah recorded this situation. Why didn't she say this before? Lisa was very manipulative. She told Sarah Jake is imagining things. What did she say? When Jake was 4 years old, he constantly said, Mommy is angry at me, Mommy punishes me. Sarah recorded this situation. Why didn't she say this before? Lisa was very manipulative. She told Sarah Jake is imagining things. This information was very valuable, but we needed more. In February 2025, a very important development occurred. Jake's doctor, Dr. Michael Stevens, wanted to meet with me. Mr. Anderson, there are concerning findings in Jake's last doctor checkup. What kind of findings? Old injury marks on his arms and back. These aren't fall injuries. What kind of injuries?
Of course.
I'll report to Child Protection Services. Dr. Stevens' report changed everything. Now there was medical evidence that Jake was being physically abused. In March 2025, an emergency court hearing was held. I presented Dr. Stevens' report. Your Honor, medical evidence shows Jake is being abused at home. Lisa panicked, these are lies. Thomas bought the doctor. But Judge Chun now understood the seriousness of the situation. The child protection team will examine Jake in detail. The examination results were terrible for Lisa. There were numerous abuse marks on Jake's body. In April 2025, Lisa was arrested. Jake was temporarily placed with a foster family. When I met with Jake for the first time without supervision, he hugged me crying. Daddy, I missed you so much. Mommy told me not to love you, but I always loved you. Jake, you're safe now. I'll protect you. In May 2025, Lisa's criminal case began. She was tried for child abuse, slandering me, and misleading the court. Daddy, was Mommy really a bad person? He sometimes asks.
Jake, Mommy was sick.
But you're safe now. Justice was late but finally prevailed. Jake is now